Welcome to the Third Eye Video Podcast, where we explore the intersection of mindfulness, spirituality, and personal growth. Each episode, we dive deep into thought-provoking conversations with inspiring guests, sharing insights that awaken your inner vision. Join us as we uncover practices, stories, and wisdom that help you connect with your true self and see the world through a new lens. Tune in to expand consciousness and enhance your journey towards a more mindful life. I'm Teddy, and I'm here to introduce Taylor. He's going to talk to us about his military experience and how he brings that to his civilian life now. So, welcome to the show, Taylor.
Howdy, thank you for having me.
Alrighty, so just to get started, let's get to know you a little bit. So, in terms of your military service, when did you join up?
I joined up 2016. I did a semester at a Santiago college. Horrible. Horrible. And the school was awful. It felt like high school 2.0.
Oh.
And I felt like there was more to do with my life at that point.
Okay. So, and then what age would you have been in 2016?
19.
19? All right. And then in the military, so obviously it's 2024 now. How long were you in the military for?
So I was Army for 5 years, which was a long time.
That is a very long time.
I'm very grateful for the time that I spent, but like when I got out, thank goodness I got out. And then I spent 4 years in the National Guard, and I'm continuing that.
Oh, okay, so you're still like technically an active member of the military, or how does that work?
I'm a reservist. Would be the right way to say it.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I know next to nothing about how that works. Okay, and so you started in the Army, and then you were now a reservist in the National Guard. And then what rank have you gotten up to at this
I've
point?
been hard stuck at specialist for the last 5 years, but I'm hoping this year's it.
This year's it?
Yeah, make that jump to sergeant.
What does that look like to become a sergeant?
That is the first step, or the first grade of being an NCO. So it'd be the first time that I'd officially be in charge of a group. I'd have my own squad. In theory, right now I have a team, but our team is directly overseen by a sergeant. So it's like he's pretty much just
He's
the
in
team
charge.
leader.
You're not
Yeah.
necessarily doing anything like that. Okay. And then, so you are a student here with us at Fullerton College, and you're pursuing a career in, what is your major? In television production, screenwriting? Screenwriting. All right, that's really cool. What motivated you to pursue screenwriting after your military service?
Well, as a kid, my grandiose dream was to be an author. So I felt, and then later on in life, I fell in love with like TV, film, movies, everything.
It's so there for everyone. The media. Yeah.
And I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I feel like trying to become a screenwriter would just be the natural progression of that childhood dream.
Yeah, of course. It's good that you hung on to that throughout the military.
Yeah, I feel it was something that was always kind of haunting the back of my mind.
Okay, haunting you. You're like the specter of your dream right behind you.
Yeah.
And so what made you join the military first as opposed to just pursuing a college in a major in screenwriting?
Well, there was a lot of global attacks on the United States at the time, so it just felt, I felt like a lot of people were saying like, oh, someone's got to do something, and just go on with their life, and I said like, hey, I'll do something. So I just kind of joined.
Okay.
And I also really hated college.
Really hated college. Yeah, you said you had that one semester at San Antonio College in Mount Sac, is that what it's called?
Santiago Canyon.
Santiago.
It's over in Irvine. There's a reason you haven't heard of it.
Yes, it's not
awful.
local for me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And then, so now that you are here though in college, like what makes it different this time around?
I just know what my dream is. I know what my goal is, and I got a clear path to it. So I'm pushing down it.
That's fantastic. When you left, you haven't left the military, sorry. When you came to college, we're gonna actually take a pause on that, I apologize, and we're gonna return after this commercial break and continue talking here with Taylor on TV mindfulness.
Are you ready to rock this Halloween and scare your neighbors to death? Rock out with one of our newest Ibanez guitars, made for all ages, young, old, dead or alive. Heavy metal, rock, country, blues, made with hand-picked wood from around the world, completed with a fast silk neck and killer screams. What are you waiting for? Come on down to Ibanez Guitars today.
Welcome to the Third Eye Video Podcast. Today we are back with our special guest, Taylor. So let's just go ahead and go back to what we were talking about with you in the military and your new civilian life. We've gotten to know you a little bit. So what skills from the military training have been most useful in now you're pursuing college in screenwriting?
Well, directly, Pretty much nothing.
Pretty much nothing.
There's not a lot that relates to being a mortarman that directly goes over to screenwriting. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, but like more life skills. I'd say I learned a lot. Like I learned how to kind of dig deep within myself and push through the more rougher parts of life to get through to what I really want to do.
Oh yeah, of course. It does. It helps like having that self-discipline and motivation.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of what
The
it's taught to you.
discipline, and then also knowing like I made it through the Army. Like I can get through this.
Get through this. Nice. How do you feel your perspective as a veteran enhances your storytelling in television?
I mean, for military scenes, really well, because like I'll watch a movie like Top Gun and be like, "There's no way a pilot would yell at a colonel like that." Like the pilot is not. It's very impressive, but like he's not in charge of anyone. Like the colonel's up there. So in that way, like I guess it kind of helps because I could make it more realistic.
Yeah.
And then with movies like Saving Private Ryan, like oh yeah, all the whole chain of command, like totally get it. Makes sense.
Gotcha. So like it helps you appreciate the people who do their research, kind of thing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And then now that you are here, what kind of television production are you interested in? Would you be telling just military stories, or would you be telling something else more broad? Or?
I will say I feel like telling military stories is such a crutch.
Yeah.
Because other than like 6 military movies, like I can't just write military. But I feel like just life experiences help me be able to write more complicated stories. Like, yeah, I've been in military with stressful situations, but I've also had a lot of stressful personal situations and life experiences that I feel like helps out a lot more than just the military stories.
Yeah, of course. So you're like your personal growth, since you're like older and more mature. It's like you have those stories to tell rather than just like military stories and things like that.
Yeah, because I remember taking a screenwriting class, and everyone was supposed to like write a dark story from their past, and everyone was like, I failed a test in high school, like it really sucked, and I don't want to talk.
Yeah, it's like that's the worst thing that happened to them then.
And like, and of course it's very real, but like, I had a horrible breakup. I struggled to get out of bed, and then I got smoked at work, and like, I've had more complicated situations that they haven't had a chance to experience yet. So I feel more appreciative for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then how do you manage that time between your coursework and your personal commitments and then also being a reserve in the National Guard?
Well, for the National Guard, it's kind of nice because I show up once a month, and then living in the military, like for 5 years I eat, sleep, and drank military 24 hours. So it's comforting to be able to go back to it for like a weekend every once in a while. But
like I'm sure you hated it in there, and then now you're like it has a certain je ne sais quoi.
I will say I never truly hated. I hated some parts, but I never fully hated it.
Oh no, of course.
So it's super nice to be able to escape for a weekend and suffer. But I'd say the balance is pretty well done thanks to the GI Bill, because I don't have to really stress about money or a second job or whatever.
Okay. And then what advice would you give your fellow veterans considering a similar transition out of the military?
Just take advantage of that GI Bill. Like we have so many resources devoted for you to be successful after what you've given our country. So just take advantage of all of it.
Yeah, of course. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us on the Third Eye Video Podcast. We appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed the conversation. Be sure to subscribe for more inspiring stories and insights from the world of music production and military experiences. Until next time, keep exploring.